Welcome guys, open your Cinema 4D and let's get started together. For us to appropriately see our scene setup, I'm going to switch to front view. By holding Ctrl, you can duplicate any object, and by clicking on any axis. So, in a few seconds, I was able to block out my own tree. Note, your own tree doesn't have to be exactly like mine. All you just have to do is just follow the process, and you also can create your own art. So we are able to switch from front view 3D perspective so that we can see our block. So it is important to always do this so that you can see the whole three-dimensional view of your shape. Let's continue to add the additional detail that we want to include. One thing you have to know for sure when you are blocking out your scene is that you don't need to bother yourself with a lot of details or any complex variation that is going to give a little bit of distraction in you understanding the proportion and the scale of your model. So at this moment, all we just want to do is just create some simple shapes, and through then we can add details later. So for the sake of organization, we can start cleaning up our object manager by grouping some of our model. I'm able to group my models by pressing Alt-G on my keyboard. At this moment that we are doing our blocking out, it is also a wise thing to create a camera so that we can frame our object. So since this is a blocking out phase, you can always adjust your model as you see fit. So we can continue by adding the other models that we want to model later, the gift box. So your gift box may take any shape or forms that you see fit. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. All we are focusing on is just to curate the basic shapes. So we can add some caps so that at least we can be able to see to our cone. So guys, let's continue to add additional details. So let's add our star. Curl it down. So let's include some of the details on our tree by using the cloner. I'll pick one of the sphere here to reduce the size. Or we can put it inside the cloner. You can call it deco or decoration. You can choose whatever name you fit. So over here, before I created the profile, the object profile, I want to make sure that I create a proxy of the tree. The reason why I love to work that way is sometimes that instead of me merging the object together, these shapes, or by selecting individual, creating respective cloner for it, I can just merge them together at once and create it as a profile, as a proxy for the cloner to read. So just follow along and you also will get it. So I can remove the cap. I can sometimes if you want to see a particular model, instead of hiding and unhiding some of the model, just go into the viewport solo mode, and you'll be able to see. I love it like this. I'm going to connect object of delete, so I'm going to call it free proxy. I can go back, then over to my deco, then I'm going to pick the tree proxy, then I can hide it, go to the deco, and I can increase it. So this is very, very awesome and simple to use. You can use it to create videos like this. And you can play along with any settings that is available. And also you can add some more graph. And as you can see, this also can easily be animated. So depends on the kind of a look that you're going for. And we can also add a random effector if that is what you're going for also, just to make it a little bit uneven. We can remove the position, just go to scale, which is an absolute. So we can add a profile to our spline here. So we can get started is no, and all we are going to be using, the volume builder. I'm going to demonstrate it for you guys, and you also can create your own custom one. So this is how you create your snow using the volume builder. And if you notice, it is quite a high density model, so you can use the remesh it. So we are able to have a clean model. So you also can do the same for the rest and also for the cloud. So the same can be duplicated and you just replace the spheres. And also we can add additional shapes, like for the cloud. Volume Builder is a very powerful tool that make creating a complex shapes possible without getting sculpting involved. It is very intuitive, simple to use. All you just have to do is just follow the same process that I'm doing. Just combine your shapes together. And one thing you have to note whenever you're using a volume builder is that the shape must be a closed object. So it must not have an opening. So that it can really work well. So after combining the shapes together, I often use the SD Help Smooth, and you can choose different operators. You can choose either mean or Gaussian, or the different ones that are there, just to see how it's smoothing your models together. And also you have to make sure that your basic shapes have a good polygon count, and it has to have a lot of polygon count. That's why I'm increasing the segment, so that at least there won't be a sharp edges, but everything is going to get smoothed. So let's start to add additional details with our gift box. Let's start with this one. Let's make it editable. Go to the polygon mode. So we are creating the gift wrap by just using some basic simple polygon modeling method. So since we are able to create this wrap, easily we can duplicate it to other boxes. So we are holding Control and dragging it and axis. So guys, we're able to add details that have been needed. And you also can practice your own and follow me doing the same. You can see that the scene is getting added up bit by bit. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. You can create your own relative variation and so that to make it your own. So I'm still going to continue and add some additional objects to it. You also can follow along or skip to the next episode. Thank you. To create a smooth model, I'm going to be beveling some of these model just to create a smooth edges. So I'm going to be using some division surface. So for the boxes, we are going to be using a bevel deformer. So I will group these two models together so that the bevel can work for both. So I'm going to go to the deformer. I'm going to select the bevel by holding shift so that it can be included in the group. So, and then create the subdivision. This is with it, without. So it really softens the hard edges. And you can spend the rest of the minute by cleaning up your scene and adding some necessary details, or by optimizing some padding object in your scene so that to go for your particular desired look. I will be using V-Ray. If you have Redshift, Octane, and even you can also use Cinema 4D standard or physical rendering engine. So let's get started. So we're going to be adding a light to our scene. And before we do that, I'm going to be creating a standard material with V-Ray. So I'm going to switch to V-Ray. And in my material override, I'm going to be dropping this custom material. So I'm going to add the V-Ray camera type, physical camera type. So now we can start adding our light. So I'm going to add backdrop. So I really like how this light is, but I'm going to add a second light. So I'm going to be adding the second light which I just added. So let's see. So guys, I'm okay with this light, but you can always add additional one if you want to, and also you can really make a lot of changes with using the light mix by increasing or reducing any of the light source. And then you can even change any color. Also, you can make a lot of camera settings here. The aperture, if you really want to create this depth of field effect, you can also do the same here. So we're going to continue by adding texture to our scene. So guys, with no further ado, let's get started with the texturing. So I'm going to be texturing this scene using these materials here. I'm able to pull this color palette from the reference that I'm using. If you also are working with a reference, you also can pull the color from it. Or here's the color. Let me open it. So you can copy the X code. So you also can copy the X code. So here are the colors. So from this set of colors, I'm going to be creating some variation also, so that my scene can be properly textured. So I'm going to start with a tree. I'll be dropping this one. So I will hold Control, create a different variation, more light one. So yours may be different, it doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Okay, so I will create another golden color. So you can just be dragging the materials on top of the model, and Cinema 4D will do the rest for you. If I want to create a gradient, I can duplicate that material, go over to gradient, and it doesn't have to be exactly like mine, like I always said. So you can just play around with yours. So I'm going to be dropping these on top of these. Okay. Yep. For the rest, it's just a simple repetition. So I'm going to be creating a lighting material for the staff here. So I come over here to light material. And I'm going to be dragging that on top of this star and also on this spline here. So the other one here, I'm going to click into light material again, and I'm just going to change the color. So I'm going to be dropping that on top of this. So we can render and quickly see or reduce. See the outcome. So I'm going to test the render now, and let's see. Just a moment, I believe I've messed up the lighting because I can see that the light is low. Then we'll go back again. Okay. 50. But I'll check here. So guys, we can go back again, because I'm yet to be satisfied with the outcome. Okay, I believe it's because of the set faults. I've already done before I prove the reset. So all you just have to make sure is that whenever you're doing that, make sure you include all these materials in your material override, because if you don't include it, you may not see them. So I just drag everything except the one that I use as a custom material into this. So let's render it again and let's see how it looks. So just make sure it is excluded. So as you can see, the render, I really love it. And we can see the individual light. This one powerful thing is about V-Ray is that I'm able to select individual light and see the role each one is playing. So you can see this is the self illumination. So I can bump up the light a little. That is what look that I'm going for. So for you to save it, you can save it directly from here, or you can tell Cinema 4D to save instantly as it's rendered. You can tell Cinema 4D to help you save it instantly as rendered just by choosing the file directory. So practice and make a lot of fun 3D art. It's really going to be awesome. So I really love creating a base render. So using material override really make that super easy. All you just have to do is just switch this to include, like we did earlier. And if you press render this time around, it's going to render everything just the base color that we included. So I love this always because this really gives me the opportunity to see how the light reacts with individual models, and this really creates this clean render. It's also an amazing art if that is the look that you are going for. So this is really beautiful. You can see different light. I mean, this is really gorgeous. So you can play around and you can create different variation, different look that you're looking with. Also, you can include different models. If you really want to include some starter models, you can model it also with Cinema 4D, or you can import your own respective model from different application. So I'm certain you're able to learn something from this section. Thank you very much for watching.